Infinity Targets. Today, Infinity Targets sent me one of their Gen 2 targets. These things are fantastic. They're supposed to be rated for anything all the way up until 50 BMG. So we're going to be testing these things out and seeing how they perform. Here's how it works. The bullet passes through. From there, it passes through the rubber pieces, creating a little tiny divot. And then it self-repairs that way. When you get to the range, you typically prefer steel, especially for longer distances, because you get that auditory feedback. However, when you are using steel, you can't really go super close to it because you run the risk of spalling. With the steel targets, they typically create little tiny divots right here, and it could cause your rifle calibers or pistol calibers to spall backwards towards you. I was aiming at a slight angle, and we can see the massive amount of spalling that could cause a lot of harm or damage, and it's spreading out that way. With this target right here, we were still getting some of that spall damage, and it could be detrimental towards your health. So when you train, you want to get up close and personal, so you can't really do that with steel. However, with these Infinity targets, you don't really have to worry about that. When I'm using steel targets, I want to have that auditory feedback. With these Infinity targets, I'm not going to get that feedback, but it is going to be very visible. I'm standing here at 25 yards. I'm going to do a couple headshots just to show you how easy it is to pick up. At 25 yards, even though I didn't have an auditory feedback, I can clearly see where I actually impacted, making it very, very useful for long distance and short distance. Now, taking a closer look, you can already see that these holes are already sealed up and the paint's already peeling off. That's no problem. That's what they're designed to do. We just got to repaint over it, and then we'll have a nice fresh target once again. Now, one thing to note, the manufacturer does say that you cannot use flat nose stuff and also hollow point stuff because it will eat away and then create a permanent hole there. But if you just use standard full metal jackets or ball ammunition, it's going to go right through and it will heal. I'm going to do a couple hollow points from my 9mm. I'm also going to do a couple 22 hollow points to see if it has any effect whatsoever. First off, we're going to do some Federal HST at the bottom left sector of the target. Now, if you see what the hollow point actually does, it does take a whole entire chunk out and spits it out. So it's basically a whole entire hole punch if you use hollow points. And you can clearly see right through there. Definitely don't use hollow points. We're going to see if 22 hollow points have any effect on it also. Next up, I'm going to use my Ruger 1022 with a suppressor with hollow point surplus ammunition on that bottom right end right here. That was a very fast 25 rounds, but let's take a look. And as we can see there, the 22 hollow points definitely do affect it also. Definitely don't use any hollow points whatsoever or flat nose. Go off of the manufacturer's suggestions. Manufacturers suggest that you only use ball ammunition. Try not to use any flat nose and hollow points, okay? The Infinity targets are a fantastic way to train without having to bring that stupid masking tape all over the place where you actually go. I do like paper targets. However, the Infinity targets, they are rated to be roughly about 110 shots per square inch. So that is a lot of surface area, and you can definitely use them for a very, very, very long time. Now, shooting it a couple times as advertised, all you have to do is paint it over and it's going to be as good as new, except for the parts that you actually shot the hollow points through. Other than that, your target's good. Done deal. Easy peasy. Infinite Defense's Infinity targets work amazing. They are an invaluable tool that you can actually add to your training schedule just to make things a little bit more interactive. If you are interested in this item, I left the link down below. You can use the code SHORTSHOT and receive $10 off on that purchase. Using that coupon code helps me out and it helps them out as well. It will be the perfect gift for that gun lover within your circle. So don't wait now. Go ahead and get those things in before the holiday season. If you've made it to the end of this video, go ahead and head on down to amphibiancustoms.com and use the code word SHORTSHOT and receive 10% off on your next purchase. Like, share, comment, subscribe down below. Let me know what your thoughts are. What should I review next? And as always, thanks for stopping by.